Okay, we are back with more Ocarina of Time. And look at that. Look how creepy that is. Alright, there's this thing where if you kill a re-dead, and there are other re-deads around, they'll walk over and start eating the body. Now, I just recently found out about this. See, look at that. That's awesome. I don't know if Gyptos do that, though. Cloud over Death Mountain. There's something strange about it. I don't care about the Death Mountain. I don't care about Death Mountain. I want to see re-deads eat each other. And I love that little scream thing that happens when they stare at you. Although they can't paralyze you here. I don't know why. You know, some people are creeped out by those re-deads. They don't bother me. The ones from Wind Waker, now those freak me out. I don't know why. I think it's the giant heads and those red eyes and that little scream they make. That freaks me out. I always hated coming up against those things. Alright, now I'm gonna go back to Kakariko Village, and I'm gonna get an arrow upgrade. Just now we're gonna go to that building when we were younger. It was that building that was being built. I don't know whether I stopped and looked at it. But now 7 years later it's built and now it's a shooting gallery. Kinda like the one from Hyrule Market. Except this time this one's for adults. Oh, and also I forgot off screen. I went back in time and I bought those, what do you call it, those magic beans, and I just went around and started planting them in different spots. Just so I could get that out of the way. It's not very interesting to watch. And plus I need to spend rupees anyway. You know, my aiming is horrible. I think a lot of it is I kind of panic. Especially when I miss, then I panic and I start firing arrows. Yeah, obviously I had to cut out a couple of failures. I think I failed about 6 times probably. Now, if you do good enough, he'll let you try one more time for free. Of course, if you don't do that well, then you have to pay 20 more rupees to play. Alright, got it that time. I think the ones that confuse me the most are usually the ones that... It's those red ones I usually keep missing because they move, and that green one that hops up and down. Alright, now we can carry 40 arrows. You know, for the longest time, I never really got the arrow upgrade. I wonder if this is the first time I've done this. I guess because I just never knew about it, or I just didn't pay it that much attention. Because I never really had a problem with running out of arrows. Of course, then there's Wind Waker, where the maximum you can get is 99, which you really don't have to worry about running out in that game. Same thing with bombs. Now I'm back in the graveyard. You can see here I planted a bean 7 years ago. Now I can get up here and get a heart piece and fill a heart container. Now we can just ignore that Poe. I think our next destination is Death Mountain, because now he won't shut up about, you know, that strange cloud over it. I'm wondering if that red cloud is making Kakariko Village look... I don't know, it looks slightly tinted. Because 7 years ago when we came here in the daytime, it was, you know, it was a clear blue skies. And there's another bean spot I planted. I don't know if I did that on screen. I think I did on screen. And that way, you know, I can get the heart piece over Dodongo's cavern. Yeah, it actually is kind of fun collecting all these heart pieces for once. You know, on a completely unrelated note, so Tennessee Titans have lost 3 times in a row. 3 times. So now they're 5-5, and now they've got this whole quarterback issue thing again, because, you know, Vince Young decided to flip out. You know, I was thinking, you know, he was starting to get better with that whole maturity thing, but apparently not. Apparently he told Jeff Fisher to go F himself, and then just stormed out of the room, which, you don't do that. You're a quarterback. You're the team leader. You can't just do that. No one's gonna follow you then. They're gonna lose your respect for you. You basically just screwed up your... You're basically screwing up your career is what you're doing. There was that whole thing 2 years ago where he kind of walked out of the stadium, and then he had his whole family freaking out thinking he was going to kill himself and all that mess. And then this year he's throwing his shoulder pads into the stands, which, you know, I can understand you being frustrated and fans maybe ticking you off, but still, you've got to handle it better than that. From what I understand, you know, in college, where was he, at Texas? You know, everybody was all, you know, yay, Vince Young, you're awesome, you're great. And then you get in the NFL, and all of a sudden, you know, you've got people criticizing you on things you do, and you can't handle it. I don't know, I could just say he's pretty much done in Tennessee. Either that, or they're gonna lose Jeff Fisher, which would be a very bad thing, because he's a great coach, and if he did leave, he wouldn't have no problem finding a job. There would be a bunch of people, you know, looking on to hire him. But, you know, the owner, Bud Adams, just loves Vince Young for some odd reason. I mean, he's okay, but I don't think he's amazing. And obviously, he hasn't hit that level where he's mature enough to, you know, handle all that stuff. Hey, what was I going to talk about? I just forgot what I was going to say. You know, besides what's actually going on the screen. You know, I'm trying to hit this Goron. I decided with a bomb chew for once. I've never done it before. I just want to see if I can get him. What you're really supposed to do is, like, throw the bomb behind him. That way when he turns around, he runs into it. No, I got him that time. Oh, there can actually only be one link. Thank you very much. Well, I am the legendary Dodongo Buster. That's an interesting title. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Pretty bad indeed. You know, for stone people, you guys are pretty pathetic. I would think you'd be better, you know, better equipped to defend yourselves. You're rock people. Can't you fight? Is Daruni the only one that can actually do anything? That's an odd sound. And why don't you do something about it instead of, you know, crying? I think your dad would be pretty disappointed in you. Oh, I know what I was going to talk about earlier. I think that whole Randy Moss thing is pretty much a bust. I don't know why they signed him. He hasn't done anything at all. I don't think he's even made a catch yet. And plus, he's like a drama queen. If nothing goes his way, he's just like, nobody does this. I don't get any balls. Man. I mean, I know Jeff Fisher was, you know, backing him, but still, why? He's just not worth the trouble. He was with the Patriots. As much as I hate the Patriots, you know, they're a winning team. Why'd all of a sudden he go to the Vikings, and then he said something about Brad Childress, and then he got cut from there, and he goes to Tennessee, and he hasn't done anything. And he really doesn't do that much. From what I understand, like, sometimes on plays, he kind of half-asses his routes sometimes. And, well, he doesn't necessarily have an elite quarterback to get him the ball either. You know, as much as I like Tennessee, I just say Vince Young is not an elite quarterback. Definitely not acting like one. Well, it's going to be interesting trying to get 50 of these things just for a heart piece. I mean, I know where I can find some. I'm just kind of getting them as I go along, basically. I know there's a couple in dungeons, but I'm just going to have to go out of my way to get some other ones. Oh yeah, I forgot. We've got the Goron tunic now. So now we can run inside the volcano and not burn to death. If I am curious, I mean, the tunic doesn't necessarily cover his face. I mean, wouldn't his face still be hot? And plus he's got that metal shield and metal sword. Well, I don't know. Is the Master Sword made of metal? It could be made of some ancient magical metal. Yeah, it's pretty hot. We can't stay in here. I think when you're a child, the timer is even smaller.